What's up guys, Random Razor here with another tech video for you guys today, and today we're going to check out one of the first 4K dash cams from BLACKVUE. So of course, without further ado, let's slice this open, check it out, and give you guys my quick in-depth review. So dash cams are nothing new and they're becoming more and more popular every year, especially here in the United States and Canada. Now HD dash cams have been around for a number of years now, but 4K models are something that's new, different, and possibly a game changer for dash cams out there. Anyways, for those of you who picked this up from BLACKVUE, you'll know it's from them when you see all this tape on the box. And it looks like they did a pretty good job packing this together. You can see the first thing that we get is the 4K dash cam, and this is the 2-channel model that also comes with a rear dash cam. In addition to that, I also picked up BLACKVUE's Power Magic Ultra battery, which is their newest external battery for those of you who want to take advantage of the parking features that are on the dash cam. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the dash cam first. The model number for the 4K models is the DR900S. Checking out what we get with the dash cam first. Looks like the first thing that we're introduced with is the 4K dash cam and rear dash cam itself. And the first thing that you will notice is that this pretty much shares the same design as the 750S, which is a good thing because they are very nicely designed dash cams. There's no screens or anything, so the dash cam itself can remain compact and take up less real estate on your windshield. And whether you have a Toyota Corolla or a full-fledged BMW or Mercedes, this will definitely complement any modern car interior. Continue on with the unboxing. We also have a quick manual. And last but not least is our accessory box. And inside this we get our power cable to connect this to the car. Next we have a bag with some cable holders, extra additional 3M tape, a 32GB micro SD card with a USB adapter, a tool here to help you tuck the cable underneath the weather stripping or trim in your car so you can hide the cable. And last but not least is the proprietary cable to connect the rear dash cam to the front dash cam. Next we'll do a quick unboxing of BLACKVUE's new external battery. They call it their Power Magic Ultra battery. Popping this open. Next we have a big large goodie pouch here, and there's two ways to hook the battery up to your car. You can either hardwire it, or for those of us who don't want to play around with the wires on our car, we can just plug it directly into the DC port on your car. And this pretty much includes everything that you need to hook the dash cam to the battery and the battery to the car. There's also some stickers here to secure the battery in place, whether you want to put it in your glove box or another location. And the wires themselves are all pretty lengthy to ensure that you find a good spot to put your battery. Last but not least is the battery itself here. You can see BLACKVUE's new battery is quite large in comparison to the size of my hand here. It also has a bit of heft to it, and that's largely due to the metal casing that surrounds the entire battery. All the ports are on the right side of the battery here. You have an expansion port, and basically what that allows you to do is to daisy chain additional batteries with this one here for extra long battery life. This port here is to connect your dash cam to the battery, and the one over here is your DC port to connect to your car. One thing I like about this external battery is that you do have the ability to turn it off. So for example, if you park your car inside your garage, you're generally not going to need to have your dash cam running, so you can simply turn it off via the switch. Now this battery pack here is actually packed full of features which we will check out later in this video, but let's go back to the main focus of this video, and that is the 4K dash cam. Alright, so taking a quick overview of these dash cams before we install it into our car. Now like I mentioned earlier, the new 4K model pretty much shares the exact same design and looks of the 750S. The only cosmetic difference, aside from the fact that it says 4K on the camera, is the 4K model has this bronze trimming around the camera lens, as well as the back here around the LED lights. And not quite as noticeable, but there's also a bronze ring around the camera mount just inside here. Whereas on the 750S, everything is all blacked out. Now the mount on the camera can be removed. There's a lock button on the front here. You just press it, which you can adjust the angle, but also to release the camera from the mount. Now the nice thing about BLACKVUE cameras is that BLACKVUE has their own dedicated app, which makes it much more easier to toggle between the settings and even download the videos off the camera rather than having an inbuilt one and a built-in screen. The labels on the side here show you what the Wi-Fi name of the camera is, as well as a dedicated password. And aside from the app, that's pretty much the one way that the camera communicates with you is through voice recognition. So basically it tells you when the camera is recording, it tells you if your SD card is out. So a lot of little things that the camera will automatically tell you without having you to check your phone or look on a built-in screen on a other dash cam. Now with the shrink wrap off, you can see the entire outside has a smooth matte black finish. You obviously have the camera lens on the front here. Underneath this lens features an 8 megapixel Sony CMOS sensor. And it's thanks to this sensor that gives us 4K resolution at 3840 by 2160 at 30 frames per second. Now, even though most consumers don't have 4K monitors, videos even on HD screens look that much crisper thanks to 4K resolution recording. Anyways, continuing on to the side here, there is a Wi-Fi icon that lights up to let you know that your camera is connected to Wi-Fi. Now the Wi-Fi does two things. It allows you to connect to your phone to toggle with the settings or download videos off the BLACKVUE app. And it also allows you to take advantage of BLACKVUE's cloud feature that lets you store your videos on the internet. In other words, on BLACKVUE's servers. But basically what that does is that in case your camera gets stolen or something, you still have the videos to look back on. That being said, that does of course require a connection either with your phone or a Wi-Fi network. On the back side here, you have two LED lights, a recording light, and a GPS light to let you know that they are working, as well as your speakerphone on the back. Last but not least, on the back, you have your DC in, which is your power port to power the camera. This gold port here connects the rear camera to the front camera. There's a single physical button here that can format the SD card and turn your Wi-Fi on and off. And speaking about the SD card, you can just pop off this cover that reveals the micro SD card, which you can take in and out. Here's a quick look at the rear dash cam. Again, identical to the 750S that I reviewed a few months ago. Got the lens on the front here. There's no buttons or anything since everything is controlled off the app and through the front camera. There's a single port on the side here to connect the front camera to the rear dash cam. You can also swivel the camera up and down, and of course this part here mounts through your rear windshield. Also forgot to mention there is a single LED light on the back here which you can turn on and off via the BLACKVUE app. Going back to BLACKVUE's new battery, one of the cool features about it is that it has Bluetooth built in, and BLACKVUE actually developed an app to download to your phone where you can connect it to the battery to check everything from the battery health, temperature, and of course battery life. This new battery is kind of like BLACKVUE's external battery and their Power Magic Pro box all in one package. And what the magic part of the battery does is that it monitors the voltage coming out of your car so that when it's off, it's recharging your battery if you set it up like that. And basically what that does is that because the battery can monitor the voltage coming out of the car, it can detect when it gets too low and automatically stop drawing power. And because of that, it can prevent any chances of draining your car battery to the point where it's dead and you can't start your car. So having that safeguard in place means you can charge your battery without having to worry about your car dying on you. And I guess I forgot to mention why you would want a battery like this, and that is to take advantage of BLACKVUE's parking mode feature, which basically means when your car is off, something can power the dash cam so that it's recording even though your car is off and parked. And with an external battery, it means the dash cam can draw power directly from the external battery instead of the car. But anyways, let's install this into my car. I'll be demonstrating this dash cam on a 2017 Toyota Highlander. And here's a few clips of installing the wires in my Toyota here, which you can see it's not a very difficult process. You just use the included tool to help you out in terms of sticking the wire underneath the headliner, weather stripping, and between trim panels. But overall the process is again fairly simple. It's just a little bit time consuming, especially if you're using if you have a long SUV like I do. A quick tip, most of you will probably have excess cable, and the easiest way to hide the cable is that once you're done, you want to pick a spot, generally the rear pillar since it's the largest, and kind of tuck the excess cable underneath since there's a lot of space, and it should be well hidden. Depending on your vehicle, if you have a power liftgate like I do, you may want to leave some excess cable since you'll likely place the camera either on the windshield or on the bottom piece of the trim like I have here. And the reason for that excess cable is that when the power liftgate opens, it's not going to snag on the camera. The most ideal spot for the front dash cam is right behind the rear view mirror. However, if you have a big black thing like I do in my car, you could place it right underneath it. However, if it does obstruct your view, the other option is to place it right next to the mirror rather than behind it. And once I finish my camera setup, So like I mentioned earlier, the BLACKVUE camera complements pretty much any modern car interior. The most important part of this review, of course, is the camera footage, so let's check it out. Here's some footage from BLACKVUE's 750 HD dashcam as a comparison, and now we have the 4K dashcam footage, which you can see does have some differences. First being the lighting seems to be more natural and brighter due to the bigger sensor capturing more light in the 4K dashcam, and if you throw the video in full screen, you can see the overall sharpness and crispness of the video is also improved. Now to show you guys how much of a difference in terms of the details 4K shoots over HD, here's a screenshot of a Mazda we passed by, shot on the 750 HD dashcam from BLACKVUE, and here it is again on the 4K model, and it's almost night and day. The graininess is not as bad on the 4K model, the picture looks a lot more natural, brighter, and in addition you can also read the license plates off the Mazda car on the 4K model, where it's much more difficult on the HD model. So definitely a big difference in terms of the quality and resolution of the image, where every detail could count, such as identifying a license plate. So this is where the 4K model really shines in terms of capturing the details. Overall, as you guys saw from the comparison, 4K quality makes a pretty significant difference in terms of the details you can capture. At first it didn't seem like a major difference between HD and 4K footage, but once you start zooming in on the finer details, such as a license plate, that's where you notice a real difference between the two resolutions. Next we have the night footage. The first clip that we have here is off the HD dashcam, which you can see looks pretty good. And when we switch over to the 4K model, it doesn't appear to be as exposed or as bright as the HD model. Again, going down the hill with the HD model, and back to the 4K model once again. Here's a side-by-side video of 4K and HD, and at first you think the HD model looks a little nicer because it is more exposed, in other words brighter, but some areas such as the streetlights do appear to be too exposed, and it takes a little while for the auto exposure on the HD dashcam to compensate. To settle the difference between the two, here's a close-up of that Tim Hortons we passed by on the HD model, and here it is again on the 4K model. You can see that the 4K model is a little bit better as it's less grainy and the Tim Hortons sign is a little bit clearer. Almost forgot, here's some rear dashcam footage from the rear dashcam that is included with the 2-channel kit. Strongly recommend this because having the extra dashcam in the back definitely helps in case you get a rear ender or something like that. And as you can see here, the rear dashcam does a pretty good job at capturing the license plate that is behind us, which is a little bit easier for the back dashcam because they have their headlights reflecting the light off the back of your car and into their license plate, which makes it easier to pick up. The rear dashcam, because it's smaller, only shoots in HD, which isn't as high quality as the 4K model in the front, but as you can see from this footage, it's more than adequate for most situations, from identifying the car, the brand, as well as the license plate. Overall, the 4K model does a pretty good job at night footage. Everything is a little bit clearer, less grainy, as demonstrated by the Tim Hortons side. Things are a little bit more crisper, and overall, better auto exposure with different lighting situations compared to the 750S. My final thoughts on this camera after using it for well over a month now, as well as using BLACKVUE's HD camera for almost a year now, is very positive. It's a high quality camera that shoots some very detailed footage, essential for insurance use in case of anything that happens to you. I like the design of the camera as it complements any car interior from the low end to the high end, and its compact size takes up less space on both the front and back windshield. I also like how BLACKVUE designed this camera to be as hands-free as possible, with voice feedback from letting you know that the camera has started recording to formatting the memory card. The BLACKVUE app is simple and easy to use to change the settings on the camera right from your smartphone, and thanks to the improved Wi-Fi on the 900S, accessing and downloading footage from your camera to your phone is much more snappier. And in regards to the dashcam footage, as you guys saw earlier from the comparisons, the 4K model is definitely a step up from HD. For those of you wondering whether to get the HD 750S or the 4K 900S, in short, when it comes to capturing the moment and insurance claims, every detail counts. The 4K model is around $99 more over the HD model, which is a pretty steep increase, but you're buying a dashcam to protect you, and I think that paying the extra for 4K is well worth it for that protection. Going back to BLACKVUE's new battery, you can see here I placed it in the glove box for easy access to the on and off switch. It's a nice accessory to have as it allows you to take advantage of BLACKVUE's parking mode on the camera. It basically lets you record while your car is off and parked. After using it for a month now, so far I haven't had any issues with it. The 24-hour lifespan to let your camera record is pretty on par, as I have left my car out for 6 hours one time and it was still recording when I got back. In short, having this battery to take advantage of BLACKVUE's parking mode is a nice feature to have, as it does give you a better sense of security. In case someone does hit your vehicle, the BLACKVUE dashcams do have a built-in G sensor in them to detect that bump and save that recording so that it doesn't get overwritten or erased. The only two things I don't like about this battery is, first off, the Bluetooth that's built in. Yes, it's kind of cool that you can access the battery, check the battery health and status of it, but at the same time, I just don't think it's really necessary because Bluetooth is just another thing that's built into the battery that could drain it. The only other thing that you may not like about this battery is the price. With a retail price of $329 off of BLACKVUE's own website, this almost costs as much as the DashCam, which is just a little bit hard to bite. In terms of anything I don't like about the DashCam, one thing I don't really like about this DashCam is that it says 4K on the front of the camera. That's a pretty big attractive thing for thieves to look for in a car, not in terms of a DashCam, but the fact that a DashCam that says 4K on it is kind of a big flag for them to say, oh, this thing might be worth some money, and they might break into your car to get. In conclusion, guys, if you want to splurge some money on a very high quality dashcam that will likely save you more money than what the dashcam is worth in an insurance claim, you definitely can't go wrong with BLACKVUE's new 4K 900S. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments about this dashcam, let me know in the comment section there down below. Hit that like button as it helps me out, and I'll see you all in the next video.